Hello guys, this is Alex and Gavin here, and welcome to this presentation today. 3 ways to get fitter, stronger, healthier, and feel great again at home without having to go to the gym. So thank you for your time attending this presentation. I'm sure you'll pick up a lot of very useful things, especially right now during these turbulent times when your health is probably even more important to you than usual. It's more important to stay fit and healthy to keep your immune system strong. So we're going to share with you some very important information to keep yourself fit, strong, full of energy, and most importantly, to try and keep your immune system nice and strong as well. So we'll give it another minute just to wait until all the participants are going to join us today, because I can see we've got a couple of people joining as we speak. While we're doing this, if we could just get a show of hands, just if you could type in your name and say hello in the chat box. Just let us know if you can hear us and you can see the screen well. Okay. Thank you, Chris. And thanks, Phil. Great. Perfect. Okay, great. Look, we might as well get started. So first of all, I'm just going to quickly cover who is this presentation for, or who will benefit the most out of the information that we're just about to share with you. So first of all, if you're frustrated with the lack of exercise during the lockdown, you might be a gym goer and you normally go to a gym, but right now, level 4, level 3 lockdown, you can't go to a gym. So you feel like your fitness is going downhill and you want to do something about it. You obviously need to be able to take your health seriously. And I'm sure because you're on this webinar right now, I'm sure you are taking your health seriously. You're starting to feel your muscles getting weaker, joints getting stiffer, and fitness evaporating, particularly because of being in the lockdown and your exercise options are quite limited. You might be a gym member normally, but finding it not being able to go to the gym very, well, frustrating, I should say. You want to be healthy and functionally fit for many years to come. So this presentation here is for people over the age of 45. So one of the things that we talk about is how to stay functionally fit and strong for many, many years to come, even in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. Now I'll just let Gavin. Can you speak?
I can speak. Can you hear me? Yep.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. So hey guys, there's going to be obviously two of us presenting today. My name's Gavin. I'm a personal trainer, which and I'm Reps registered, which means I come under the governing body of personal trainers in New Zealand, and Reps is a worldwide sort of organization. So these photos here kind of represent me a little bit. So that top right hand corner is my knee. And I've had a lot of surgeries done on my knee, and you know, I've had 8 surgeries done, and that one was the last one I had done. And the reason that picture is there, because a lot of our clients, a lot of obstacles people come across is that they can't exercise properly because of injuries. And throughout all my injuries, I'm able to exercise quite well. I just do it around these injuries. That bottom right-hand corner there, this one here, was me. I've lost over 20 kilos. I've kept it off for 8 years. Now what that means is that most 95% of people that go on a diet end up putting the weight back on, and there's only about 5% of people that diet actually maintain their weight for long term. So I puts me about the 5% of people that are unable to lose weight and keep it off long term. And I was an overweight child all the way through till 8 years ago, and I've managed to crack the code, I guess, if you like. I did my qualifications at AUT University here in Auckland. I'm a certified functional agent specialist, which means I've upskilled myself to actually deal with people over 45 or up to 80, and it gives me a different set of skills than most trainers have. And that bottom one there is a certified online trainer. I've been training people online for a long, long time. I've actually got a certification from it. A lot of the trainers these days don't have any kind of certification, or the tools or the skills to be able to do it. And the blue one, the PN one, means I'm a certified nutrition coach, which means I'm able to give you the skills and information you need to lose weight long term. All right.
And just a little bit about myself. So this is Alex. As I said, I'm a physio. I've been actually a physio in private practice in New Zealand since 2004. I've also got a postgraduate diploma in sports medicine from the University of Otago. And back in 2010, I started my own practice in Auckland, New Zealand, in Howick. And pretty much from day one, my focus has been people over the age of 40. I've been helping them to overcome their injuries, essentially to get them back on track, especially when it comes to their fitness routine.
No, we can't hear you, man. The sound's gone. Your end.
Really?
Yeah, very, very intermittent.
Sorry, guys, we're just gonna work through this little technical issue. Can you hear me now, Gavin?
Yeah, better now. It just kind of dips in and out. Yeah.
So maybe this the internet connection. Sorry, guys. So look, just really briefly go over what I just said. So I've been a physio in New Zealand for 15 years in private practice. Got a postgraduate diploma in sports medicine, and I've been running basically my own physio private practice since 2010. My passion has been helping people over the age of 40 get them back on track, overcome their injuries. So you could easily say that both Gavin and I have got extensive experience helping people, over the age of 40, improve their health, improve their fitness, and get strong and functional. So what actually led us to put this webinar together? Now, first of all, we know how important exercise is to keep yourself healthy, especially your immune system, and that's something that's on the minds of people during this coronavirus outbreak. People ask themselves what's the best way to give yourself the best shot if you do get that sort of infection. How do you fight it off? How do you boost your immune system? So we're going to cover a little bit on that. We have extensive experience in helping people over the age of 40 regain their fitness and overcome their health issues, such as diabetes and high cholesterol, high blood pressure. So we've been running something called Growing Younger program for the last 3.5 years, and pretty much it's exclusively designed for people over the age of 45. The other thing is, and we find this quite sad, that the fitness industry currently is focusing on people pretty much in their teenagers and people in their 20s, and pretty much ignore the people who need it the most, which is people particularly over the age of 50. If you think about your typical local gym, you see a lot of youngsters pumping weights, and that's the sort of environment that's actually quite intimidating for someone maybe who is not that fit, someone who's maybe in their 50s or 60s. People struggle to maintain good fitness levels due to limited exercise options during the lockdown. So during the current pandemic, we're stuck at home. We can go for a walk, we can go for a run, but really the options are quite limited. So people find it quite difficult to do the right type of exercise. And right now, it's more important than ever to keep your body and health in shape. And the reason why I say it is we know it, we heard it from the TV, radio, internet. People are more vulnerable to the virus if their health is in a poor state, if they have some kind of concurrent medical condition, or particularly people over the age of 70 are especially prone to this virus. Okay, so we'll talk about some strategies how you can actually safeguard yourself and get fitter. So our passion to help people get healthier, fitter, and stronger, people over the age of 50, has led us to write a book. It was actually published about a year ago, and it's entitled, the title of the book is How to Feel and Look Younger Naturally, Your Ultimate Guide to Staying Functionally Fit After 50. So in New Zealand, you can actually buy it in these bookstores, Paper Plus and Poppies. Now, the next slide I'm going to talk about right now is, it might seem a little bit strange, a little bit unfamiliar. I'd just like to ask, has anyone heard about telomeres? Again, you can put your answer in the chat box. Now, telomeres, essentially what they are, is they are the little caps on the ends of your chromosomes. So the chromosomes essentially is where your DNA material is stored within your cells. And why it's important is because when we're born, the telomeres are quite long. And then gradually as we get older, they get shorter and shorter and shorter. Now, essentially, it's quite interesting because you can take someone's DNA sample and you can measure the length of their telomeres, and you can actually get a pretty good idea, not exactly, but you can get a pretty good idea how old the person is. So the length of telomeres, it doesn't just indicate your normal age, but it actually indicates your what's called biological age, or the degree to which your body has deteriorated over the years. Okay, so let me give you an example. So let's say we got two people, roughly say 60 years old. Now, one is very healthy, they've been exercising, they've been eating well, so their biological age could actually be reduced. They could be something like 45 or 50, and another person smokes, drinks, and does all sorts of unhealthy things, and their biological age is more like 75. Okay, so therefore their telomeres will be either longer or shorter. Okay, now again, to give you another indication of how important the length of your telomeres is for your health, is that according to the scientists, people who are older than 60 with shorter telomeres are 3 times more likely to die from heart disease and 8 times more likely to die from infectious disease. Now, that's very relevant information for these times. The reason why shorter telomeres put you at higher risk of dying or developing severe symptoms from infectious disease is because it affects your immune system. Okay. So I'll just go a little bit more in depth into explaining why shorter telomeres make you more vulnerable to infections. So essentially, as I said, basically every cell in your body contains these telomeres, okay? And as these telomeres get shorter and shorter and shorter, these cells become dysfunctional. They become less able, and eventually they die. Now, when it comes to telomeres inside what's called T cells, or the killer cells, now the killer cells essentially are the essential part of your immune system. And when a bacteria or a virus enters our bodies, these T cells, they hunt them down, they lock themselves onto these foreign invaders, and they kill them. Okay, so this is part of the immune response. Now, if the telomeres within those T cells are shorter, these T cells become less capable of killing the infection. So therefore, your body cannot fight off the virus and becomes more susceptible to it. So your telomeres, or you could say your biological age, essentially represents your ability to fight off the infection. Now, there was a study done in New Zealand in 2015, and they found that some people age 3 times faster than others. Now, I talked about the telomeres, and I said that, the shorter your telomeres, the higher your biological age, essentially the older you are, and the more you're prone to all sorts of diseases. Now, the good news is that the latest research from the United States proves that it is possible to lengthen your telomeres. And essentially, to a certain degree, you can slow or even reverse the aging process, okay? So even if you haven't done a lot of favors for your health until now, if you do certain things, if you get a few health habits right, you can actually reverse the biological clock to a certain degree and make yourself significantly healthier. So here is the main part of our presentation today. We are going to talk about the 3 ways to get fitter, healthier, and feel great again at home without having to go to the gym. Okay, and I'm going to let Gavin take over from here.
Team, how are you? Okay, so number 1, okay, the first thing you need is some kind of structure. You do need a structured home workout. And what you might have found over the last couple of weeks, you've seen lots of fitness pros out there on TV, and they're jumping up and down in their living room, and they're giving all these workouts and stuff. And that's okay, but it's not great for you. It's very generic. It's not tailored to you. And certainly as we start to get a little bit older, what we find is that these exercise routines do a little bit more damage than good, do more harm than good, because our joints and our muscles and our bones and stuff are not quite as strong as they were. So you could end up hurting yourself. And also as well, there's no structure to it. So if you're, again, just going for walks or, the odd little jog here and there, it's going to give you some benefits, but it's not going to maximize your results down the track, which is what we want altogether. So you don't need an elaborate gym setup to do a decent workout. But what you do need to do is work all your muscles. So let's just say you're walking or jogging. The only muscles you're working are kind of your legs, okay? And your legs are, pounding into the pavement. They're not bending. They're not using the glutes or the quads and hamstrings. You're just getting a cardiovascular workout, and as a result, your muscles actually don't get that much stronger. So I'm going to go through something with you and see if we can make it a little bit better. So if I can move that forward. Can you move it forward, Alex, for me, please? There you go. I can't. Yeah. And again.
You just have to take over the. You should be able to take over the control right now.
Yeah, I'm trying. There we go. Yeah, it's not working.
Yeah, it's working now.
Was it?
Yep. Just click. There you go.
There we go. Right, there we go. We got it. Sorry, guys. All right, so first of all, okay, now what I'm going to say is that some of these exercises can be a little bit technical. So you may or may not have seen them before, but ultimately what you need to be doing for a leg strengthening exercise is some kind of squat exercise. So I'll see if I can play this video for you. It's only a couple of seconds, but ultimately when you get this this exercise going, you get those big quads, glutes, core working as you go along. All right. And there are also variations of this exercise. So you could, if you stand up from a chair right now, that is a variation of a squat. If you put a weight on your shoulders, that is another variation of a squat. And you've got to find that's right, the one that's right for you. Okay, so the next exercise we got is kind of a deadlift. So if anybody has done any kind of manual labor over the years or in the garden, a deadlift is simply a good lifting technique. So if you're going to lift a box, they say bend your knees, brace your core, keep your back straight. And that's all this is, okay? But obviously I'm using a barbell right there. And ultimately what you're doing is you're working on the back of the body, the back, the shoulders, the bum, and the legs. You're all getting a really good workout. And it's a fantastic exercise moving forward. Now, you don't necessarily need a barbell to do this. You could do this with just a heavy bag or a brick outside if you need to. But that's going to work those legs in a really, really good way. And then the other one, this is a really standard physio exercise that is useful for our clients. And what happens is the glute muscles, which are your bum muscles, they're not only the biggest muscle in the body, they're generally often the weakest, simply because you spend a lot of time sitting down and those muscles get stretched, they get weaker, and they don't actually work as they should. And in fact, they actually turn themselves off to a degree. So when you get a lot of back pain is attributed to weak glutes. So what we need to do, we need to try and strengthen all those muscles of the lower body to give you the best function, best strength possible. And ultimately, once you've got these three combinations, you're going to do very, very well. And what's also interesting, if you didn't know already, is that your leg strength declines twice as fast as your upper body strength. That is why you see people that maybe your parents or friends and peers, who literally can't get up off the chair properly without a walking stick or without some help, obviously down the track, because they never invested in these kinds of exercises. And as a result, their leg strength has declined quite rapidly. All right. So, okay, the next one we've got. So, again, with these upper body exercises as well, but obviously for this presentation, we can't possibly go through all of them. It would take us a whole hour. But I just want to highlight the fact that loss of muscle strength and what happens to you as you age. All right. Now, one of the things our clients come and say to us is that, hey, I've lost a lot of strength and I can't do what I used to do. And that's really significant, because when you lose strength, you actually lose a lot of confidence in your own kind of ability. And that's a big problem, because it stops you from living your life. And if you're approaching retirement, if you get into that 55, 60 years old, you've still got the best years ahead of you. But if you don't feel physically fit enough or strong enough, then you're more likely to not do what you want to do and end up, a bit of a mediocre retirement as opposed to a very active and fulfilling one. So this little graph here you can see on my screen, this is called a disability graph, if you like. So this is a disability threshold that runs through the middle. So when you're born, back down here, what happens is obviously, you come through this disability threshold where you're being looked after as a baby. You come into your kind of early 20s up to, I think it's around about 30, you hit this sort of mark here. And what happens is it's kind of two different people. So if you've got a normal ager, if you like, you're just somebody that, coasts through life and you pick up a gym routine occasionally here and there, what happens is your function will kind of decline quite rapidly. And these people at the top there, you will decline. I mean, you can't stop the aging process completely, but you can certainly offset it. But what happens is when you get to this mark here, this age, I've seen it, and I've actually seen it, where people are 45 years old and they're on medications, they're unable to get off the chair properly, they've got lots of injuries, and these are activities of daily living they need help with on a day-to-day basis. Then you've got people up here who are still running marathons, Ironman, they're walking Kilimanjaro, and they're all because they've taken the investment and time to look into their health and fitness. And what happens is, this line will eventually get down to this disability threshold. But what you want to do, you want to be condensing the time at the end of your life where you're sick. And that's a term called compressed morbidity. Because if you, like the 45-year-old individual here, starts to get sick, he's got 40 years of sickness and ill health and weakness and lack of confidence, where this person up here may only have three years of sickness and inability. So this really demonstrates the importance of keeping your muscles strong, keeping your health a priority as you go forward. It's like investing into a pension. You need to do it. Okay, cool. Alex.
Look, there's just a little bit of an add-on in terms of strengthening from what Gavin has just been saying. So a lot of you might be asking yourself, okay, well, I'm 60, I'm 65, or, whatever your actual age is. Isn't that too late? Isn't that too late for me to do something about it? The answer is absolutely. It's not late. You can still do something about it. Okay. And there's actually a lot of research to prove that. And I've taken one study that was done, again, it was done in the States. And what they did is they took 100 male and female people between the ages of 72 and 98, and they measured their strength, and then they put them through a strengthening program. Essentially, they did strengthening weight exercises 3 times a week for 10 weeks, okay? So as I said, they measured their strength before they got involved in this program and immediately after they finished it, okay? So what they found is that these people, they managed to increase their strength on average by a whopping 113%. Okay, so that's more than double in only 10 weeks of strengthening. Okay, can you imagine, like, just basically 2.5 months and you can double your muscle strength? And these are people between the ages of 72 to 98. So if this is possible, for these people, imagine what you can do, okay, with the right approach. So obviously you need to do the right type of exercise to achieve this kind of goal, okay? All right. So a quote from a professor at a university professor: high levels of exercise are linked to 9 years of less aging at a cellular level. Okay, so what that actually means, I've alluded to how the length of your telomeres represents your biological age. So essentially doing the right type of exercise, it helps to lengthen your telomeres, which equates to 9 years of aging. So essentially by doing the right type of exercise, you can actually become 9 years biologically younger, which means you feel better, you're stronger, you're fitter, you just feel great. Okay, so exercise really is the key. Gavin?
Okay, cool. So cardio exercises. So again, this is super important. Cardio is a piece of the puzzle, but it's not the whole piece of the puzzle. And if you're only doing cardio, you're leaving a lot on the table in terms of your health and fitness. So, you can do anything for cardio. All cardio does, cardiovascular, it just means you work in the heart and lungs. And if you're doing some vigorous walking, and a vigorous walk isn't just, poodling around the block with your dog, that's not going to get it. A little bit of jogging, a little bit of cycling, some online kind of training like Zumba or Pilates at the moment. It's basically anything that's going to get your heart rate higher than normal. So if it gets you puffing and panting, it's absolutely fantastic, and that's what you need to be doing. And again, they talk about best time to exercise. If you do it in the morning, your energy levels will pretty much go through the roof. And in fact, it's a lot better than having that morning coffee. And a good 15 to 20 minute brisk walk will wake you up and make you feel amazing. All right. Okay, so we'll talk about nutrition. Okay, nutrition is so important. And I tell you what's been one of the funniest things that I've been listening to recently with clients and non-clients. So before we all went into lockdown, people had lots of barriers to eating right because they were too busy. Now what I'm hearing is that people can't stop or can't be good in the house because they're bored. So there kind of is no real sort of reason or rhyme for it. You're either too busy to eat healthy or you're too bored to eat healthy. It's a bizarre thing. But ultimately, you must get your nutrition right, okay? If you're somebody that likes to snack or drink alcohol to excess, you have to get this right, because this will ultimately, it'll increase your health benefits tenfold if you do it right. And you must stop overeating, okay? And we're so poor at looking at our portion sizes. And what you find is that if you buy junk food, if you buy snacks and sweets and treats, you're going to eat them. There's no doubt about it, okay? So you must try and stop overeating by having some healthy snacks handy, or not buying them in the first place. It's really important. If they're not in the house, you're not going to eat them. Another one is drinking plenty of water. A lot of the times that we mistake hunger for thirst, and our bodies are not very good. They just default to hunger. So you may be snacking on foods if you're actually thirsty. The good tactic is, if you're feeling a bit of a hunger pang going on, go and have a big large glass of water and wait 10 to 15 minutes. And usually find that hunger subsides. And if it doesn't, it probably means you need a meal or something. Another thing is planning your meals. If you're, you just go to the fridge at lunchtime and just eat whatever's in there, or you're out and about and you just grab a pie or a sandwich, you're really going to be struggling, because, you're just leaving everything to chance. And you've got to kind of control your environment a little bit. And just a simple diary or journal where you plan your meals, what you're going to have, every 3 to 4 hours, will go an absolute long way. And if you do start to have some bad eating habits, it's written down on paper and you can actually read it, and it'll be a big surprise to you, and you can make a change. The next thing we're looking at is protein. Now, protein is very popularized in the media these days as kind of, good for fat burning and all those sorts of things. And there's quite a lot of truth to that, because with protein, what happens is every portion of protein that you eat, something like chicken or fish or beef, 33% of those calories go to digestion. And because your body has to work very, very hard to digest that piece of food, which means that, it's fat burning by terms of digestion. Whereas a carbohydrate source, let's say like bread or pasta, only 4% of the calories taken in go towards digestion. So in terms of fat burning, protein is super important. The next thing about protein as well is that it's actually muscle building, it's muscle promoting. And if you eat enough protein, then obviously you're going to be building more muscle in your body, which, when we're going back to that disability threshold photo, if you're exercising the right way, you can build some muscle. We're not talking Arnold Schwarzenegger muscle. We're talking about just a little bit of extra, because having extra muscle on your body through eating extra protein and weight training means you burn more calories at rest. So if you're sitting on the couch and you've got a couple of extra kilos of muscle on your body, you can burn up to 100 to 200 calories per day extra than you would if you didn't. That's super, super important to know. And when we're looking at protein sizes, about a palm size of your hand is an adequate size of protein per meal, okay? So the next thing that we want to look at is using smaller plates. So what we find is, if you're like me, when I was really overweight, I used to have a big plate with lots of food on it. And one of these little tactics I used to do was have a smaller plate, because my eyes, always dictate how much I eat. And if the plate looks full and looks big, it feels like you've had a big meal when you probably actually haven't. That's really important to get your nutrition right. And again, you know, we're looking at those protein sources, okay? And as I've quickly alluded to, protein fills you up. It does do that because it takes a lot of effort to digest, and it can prevent some food cravings. So these are examples of high protein foods. It's lean beef, trim the fat off it. Okay, it's absolutely fine as long as it's not excessive. Chicken, poultry, white fish is really good for you. Milk, tofu is if you're vegetarian. Nuts are a good source of protein, same as cheese, but you've got to be very mindful they're quite high in fat as well, high in calories. Therefore, they fill you up, but also you can really overeat. So just be mindful of that. And a good guideline is about 30 grams of those things for snacks and cheeses. The next one, you got eggs. Eggs are fantastic. And people, there's a throwback from the olden days where eggs were actually bad for you because they're high in cholesterol. But what they now realize is that there's actually two types of cholesterol, good and bad cholesterol. And eggs contain both, so they balance each other out quite well. So they actually do have a good effect on your heart as opposed to the bad effect that people should think about. So legumes at the bottom there, so you're looking at beans and lentils. They're fantastic source of protein as well. They're packed with fiber, vitamins, minerals. They keep you full, and they're very important for you. And again, tuna, salmon, they're all good sources of protein as well, which is really good. All right. So you must be intentional about what you eat. And the reason that diets are so hard are just because, you know, you're trying to restrict yourself so much and you're not sure what to do. But, you know, the way we do things here at Growing Younger, we got a very different approach to nutrition. And you don't have to put severe restrictions in place. What's really interesting is that if you can decrease your calories by about 250 per day, and you can do that through exercise and nutrition combined together, you get fantastic results. Okay, so you're not dieting per se. If you go on a diet, you're generally going to come off a diet. So you need to be looking at a different solution, more of a lifestyle change with your approach. Reading labels is a big deal. Okay, if you have no idea what you're putting in your body and you're just eating, then you're not going to do very well. And small changes equal big results. So I'll tell you a little bit of a story. That's Penny right there. She's lost over 45 kilos with us to date. And she's taken her a couple of years to do that because she was a very large lady, but she's done an amazing job. And one of the first things that we looked at with her diet was that she used to really enjoy a large glass of orange juice with her breakfast every single morning. And this was her thing, and she loved to do it. And she was very reluctant to not to do it. So when we're looking at nutrition approaches, you know, a diet or a nutrition plan needs to be familiar to what you already do, because if it is unfamiliar, you're unlikely to stick to it. We're a creature of habit. We like the same things, and we need to change it. So what we did with Penny, we understood she liked the sweetness of the orange juice. So what we did, we tried this out. We gave her a large glass of water, and she had one orange. And what that did was the water filled her up, it hydrated her, and the orange still gave her the sweetness. So that was a really good substitute. And we've got 112 to 45 calories. It was actually more than that. I think she was drinking like a big liter of orange juice. So we were saving her maybe 250 calories per day just through this approach. And what was amazing, when Penny started to do this, and in the first 4 to 5 weeks, she lost 5 kilos. Okay, it was an incredible change just by one change. And as we've gone through her process, we've done similar things to the other parts of her diet. And she is now in the top 5% of people that has managed to keep their weight off. She's done this and been like this for 3 years or 4 years now. It's been a long time. So again, it was very successful, and it works very well. So, as you know, you be the judge. Does all this work? Well, you know, I would argue it does. And Penny was incredible. I mean, when she first came into our gym, she shuffled in. She struggled a lot. She was a smoker. She was on medication for high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and you know, she is now no longer takes medication for anything. She's completely off her medication. She, when we did a fitness test, her heart was working super hard to move the large body around. And she's now decreased her heart rate by 40 beats per minute on the selected fitness test that we used. So you can imagine 40 beats per minute, every minute, 24/7, 7 days a week. That's a lot less heart pumps that's going through the body, which means her heart is now stronger, it's younger, it's more efficient, and it's going to give her a lot more longevity as she gets older. And we did a biological age test with Penny when she started, and in the time she did this, she lost 10 years and 15 months. of biological age, which, as you can imagine, is life-changing for her. She's a completely different woman to what she was. And you know, it's been an absolute joy to see. All right. You, Alex?
Yeah, I'll grab that. Look, this slide here, it probably looks a bit confusing, but it just demonstrates what happens to your blood sugar levels when you have a meal, okay? And it primarily relates to your energy levels, because if you look at the screen, the first line that you see is the red line. It sort of jumps up and then it crashes down, okay? So this is what happens to your blood sugar when you have a meal full of sugary sweet things, okay? So like a dessert, ice cream, like a muffin, okay? So something with a lot of sugar in it will cause a spike in your energy level. So you'll feel jittery, you'll feel kind of almost kind of on the edge. And then, so yes, it will give you a bit of energy for maybe half an hour, 1 hour max. And then you'll feel a crash, okay? You'll feel sleepy, you'll feel lethargic, you'll feel pretty exhausted, okay? So it's because your blood sugar levels, they spike and then they drop, okay? That's after you eat a meal that's high in sugar. Now, the second line, you see the yellow line that's kind of in the middle. So that's when you eat something that's high in simple carbs, okay? So not necessarily sugary foods, but you know, white bread, white rice, white pasta. So something that's high in carbs, it will cause a spike that will last probably a little bit longer than after you eat something high in sugar, but it still will cause a significant energy crash, probably about 1.5 to 2 hours after you have that meal. So again, not ideal if you're at work, if you're trying to have a quite a productive, good day. Not ideal situation when your energy levels just suddenly plummet, okay? And the third line, the blue line, that's the more healthy option, okay? So this is where you eat foods that are high in fiber, your fruits, vegetables, whole grain, beans, that sort of thing. So healthy foods. Now, again, the blood sugars will increase slightly, but in a very gradual way. So your energy will last for much longer. And also, very importantly, it doesn't cause an energy crash, okay? So it will last you for good 4 hours, sometimes longer. And it gives you that sort of productive, good, reliable energy that will last you for, at least half a day, okay? So that's why it's so important to really think carefully what you eat, okay? That's why we advise plan your meals, preferably the day before, even the week before. Think about what you're going to eat. Don't just go to a bakery shop and get whatever's on the whatever you see on the display, okay? Really make a conscious effort of thinking consciously about what you eat. So this is Gavin as well, like he would just explain why the traditional diets don't work.
So, like I said, we've got to be looking at short term and long term, and we get a lot of people in the past that come in and go, I don't look good for my holiday in 3 months' time, and they go on their holiday 3 months' time, and then that's it. There's nothing more to it. So with what we do, okay, we work with people who have a very long term goal. We don't look for people that want to lose a couple of kilos in a couple of weeks. We put the things in place for you to never need a diet ever again, to never need to look for a solution again. And if you're somebody that's looking to, take care of your health right now, you cannot look short term. You must look into the future. It's just like a pension scheme. You don't pay in a pension for 3 months, so hopefully you can retire. You pay into your pension scheme for a long, long time because you know when it matures at the end, you're going to be a lot happier and a lot more secure. So what you must need to do, sorry, there you go, cool. So what you need to do, you need to keep moving. You must be structured. You can't give up on exercise. And even if you don't feel like doing something, you must do something. And we often talk about a way to be motivated is to think of the reason you started in the first place and write that down. And if you write that down, that reason down, you kind of remember why you started. So when your fleeting mood of I don't feel like comes into it, you can reread what you said. I need to be healthy because X, Y, Z, whatever that is to you. You would do that thing. So consistency is a lot more valuable than you think. So doing 3-month stints every couple of months or years isn't going to be good for you, but a long, steady, continuous approach is going to work well for you. So, avoid, TV binge watching. Is so easy right now to sit in the house and watch, entire series of wherever. Those hours that you're sitting there watching TV or doing nothing should be, reprioritize and use it to do some meaningful exercise. Use it to do some meaningful meal preparation, creating menus. You can still have it in the background if you want, but you don't have to sit there, just watching it, doing nothing else. Again, catch up on your house chores and gardening. I'll tell you something, as many times as I go to the gym right now, as soon as I step into the garden, start digging a hole or something, I tell you what, I feel like I've never worked out in my life. And those sore muscles are, telling me that, it's a good form of exercise if you're doing it right, and good lifting technique and everything's important. Find any excuse you can to get up and move. Play, go just any excuse. Doesn't need it. Just go and do it. And the more you sit, the more tired you feel. It is like a perpetual cycle. It's like a big vicious circle. If you sit down and do nothing, the more chance you're less likely to feel like doing something, and you just keep on in this big spiral. So if you get up, set a timer. And one tactic that I use with people who have sedentary jobs is every 45 minutes, set themselves a timer and go for a walk for 2 minutes and come sit back down. And what you find is if you do that 8 times a day, you're getting, 16 to 20 minutes of exercise you wouldn't normally get, and you feel a lot more energized because you've got up and done some movement. It's very, very important to keep moving. And then again, put this into perspective. 1 hour of vacuuming is 175 calories. If you've got a big house, it takes you an hour, you take you that many calories. 1 hour of gardening, 250 to 400 calories, depending on what you're doing. And again, these are generalized calories, okay, depending on your size and your fitness and all those other things that will come into it. 30 minutes of jogging, will be 280 calories. 30 minutes of stationary cycling, 260 calories. So as you can see, you don't have to be sat on a boring treadmill or boring bike to burn calories. You can do it by doing other things as well. And that's just to give you the pros and cons and the comparisons, if you like.
So look, we've given you quite a bit of information in the last 40 minutes. If you don't have extensive experience with health and fitness, it can be a little bit confusing, can be a little bit overwhelming to try and kind of put it all into action yourself. Okay, if you do that, that's fine. But if you feel like you're sort of still not sure if you can actually put everything into practice yourself, I'd like to sort of show you a way of how we could possibly help you implement these things and kind of get you the results that you really want. Okay, so with a bit of guidance, a bit of help, this is when you can really achieve great things. So is that okay if we can show you how we can help you get back on track, achieve significant results in your health and fitness? So we'll just quickly share with you. Now, this is not going to take long, probably need an extra 5 to 10 minutes of your time. But essentially, we would like to tell you a little bit about the Growing Younger program that as I said, we've been running it for 3.5 years. And look, at the moment, it's the first and only health and fitness program in New Zealand exclusively focusing on the adults over the age of 45. Now, I know that there are some people on this call who are outside of New Zealand, particularly Singapore. So we have started working with people online. In fact, we have members in Australia, in other cities in New Zealand that are doing it very successfully remotely. Okay, so this is something we have started doing probably about 6 months ago. And it's already been responsible for transforming many people's lives, which I will show you and demonstrate in just a minute. So in a nutshell, it's an all-in-one health solution. It involves personal training, nutritional coaching, physiotherapist supervision and input to make sure you stay injury-free, and very importantly, accountability to ensure you get results. Accountability is absolutely massive because so many people join the traditional gym. They have the best intentions when they join, but then after maybe a few weeks, a couple of months, they give up. And that's because there's no one really cares. No one really cares if they succeed or not. Now, with us, it's very different because we keep an eye on you. We we're sort of there. If you don't do what we tell you to do, we give you a friendly nudge to make sure that you get back on track. So accountability, we find it's probably one of the most important things. So that's where we're based in New Zealand, in Howick, RSA. So this is how it works, okay? I'll let Gavin take over just to explain the personal training part.
So as we've spoken about, okay, with the personal training side of things, excuse me, you know, it is very important to get these exercises right for you. And as I said at the beginning, I'm a fully registered personal trainer. I'm under the governing body of personal trainers for New Zealand and the world, which is REPS, and I'm a functional agent specialist. It just means that I've got a different kind of eye than a normal personal trainer. And like when I was in the gyms before, I'd see young trainers training older people, trying to get them to do kickboxing and things like this, silly things like this. And on a couple of occasions, I've seen the trainer hurt their clients. You know, and that's not what you want. We don't want to hurt you, okay? We want you to start at your level, wherever that is, and we want to build you up and you know, basically bulletproof your bodies so you can move forward. We don't want to hurt you. That's not what we want to do. So with regards to me and personal training, it's slightly different. We on online version. It's more of a coaching platform. And you know, I will check your form. It works fantastically well through Zoom or Skype, or whatever video interface you like to do. And I can still give you some fantastic guidance, and it works a lot better, in my opinion, than the gym in some respects. Also, you get daily support. So we use an app to deliver our training. And in fact, it's been a bit of a lifesaver for our business at the moment, because literally we were able to transition everybody online straight away without hitting a bump, and everyone's still getting results, and everyone is still moving forward. And the app does a lot of work. You track all your workouts. I see exactly what you do on a day-to-day basis. You can message me within that app like you can on Facebook Messenger or text message. And you know, those accountability things are very, very important. So there's no question. It's silly. You can ask as many as you want, and we'll get you through it. It's your program, and it is your goals, and we get you there. We do what we need to. In between these messages and stuff, that we get to see each other once every month. So as I said just a second ago, we jump on a video call and we go through your program. We see what you've achieved, see what you want to achieve, and we adjust your goals, we adjust your training program, and we keep you moving forward. Okay, there's a lot of accountability involved in it, as Alex said, and it's absolutely a brilliant way to do it. And you'll never, honestly, this is one of the biggest things, you're never going to have to wonder, am I doing this right? Because you know, we're there to help you. And when I was in gyms before, you'd see trainers give people a piece of paper with a workout, with no pictures, no demonstration, and they'd expect their clients to go away and do that for a month at a time, and they'd wonder why their clients would never come back to them. But obviously, the way we do this, we get people to come back to us over and over again, and it's very, 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 very awesome way to do it. All right.
So when you join, the first thing that happens, we do a 45-minute what we call discovery session. So we get on the call, on the video call, we see each other's faces. We're going to kind of go in depth into what you know, if you currently have any injuries, any pains, niggles. A lot of people suffer from back pain, shoulder pain, knee pain. So we're going to cover all these areas. I need to understand what we're dealing with. I need to understand what your current situation is before we can start prescribing you a fitness and nutrition program, okay? So we diagnose first, we prescribe second, okay? Before we start giving you concrete plan of action, we need to understand exactly where we start, what the starting point is, what the situation is right now, and also what your goals are. We're going to talk about what you'd like to achieve in the next 3, 6, 12 months, okay? So everything we do is very personalized. It's personalized to you. There are no templated programs that we give out, okay? Everything is tailored to your needs, your wants, your current situation. Some people ask us, "Oh, I've got this, bad back pain, or I've got this shoulder injury. Can we still get results?" So the answer is yes. Look, when we get together for the session, we're going to, as I said, we're going to really assess what's going on. And first of all, we can give you a program that's going to work at around those injuries to try to obviously not aggravate the injury, but also we should be able to give you something that's going to help to rehab your injury to make it better. So that's why there's a lot of involvement from me, the physio, is because we actually, if you do have injuries, we help you rehab those injuries and get you back on track quicker. And as Gavin mentioned, so we give you the app. Now, one thing I'd like to kind of emphasize is the app is very simple to use. A lot of people, when they hear the word app, they go, oh my God, I don't want to know, because it's really high tech stuff. I don't want to hear this. No, look, the app is very simple to use. Now, you do need to have the very basic understanding of how to use a smartphone. Okay, so you must own a smartphone or a tablet or iPhone or something like that. Okay, but you don't need to be a tech savvy person. The app is very, very easy to use. We explain how to use it. And the other really good thing about the app as well is when you get your workout from Gavin, your fitness workout, you can see that on the screen here. You get a number of little pictures. Now, these are actually videos. So instead of giving you a piece of cardboard like they give you in the traditional gym with something scribbled on it and you don't even know what it says there, we actually give you a number of videos. So it demonstrates exactly what to do your exercise. So you'll never again, you have to question, oh, am I doing this correctly? You can always play the video and it will tell you exactly what to do. It tells you how many times you're supposed to do it. And look, after this, if you still have questions, if you're still not sure, give us a call, send us a message, send us an email. We're always there to help. Now, one more quick thing about the app, which is I think is probably one of the best features of the app, is when you do your workout, you go through your workout, you complete the whole thing, then you click save at the end at the bottom, right? Now, what that does, it logs the workout into the system. Now, we have access to the back end of this app. So every person that's involved in the program, they have a little calendar. We look at this calendar on a regular basis for each person, and we can see when you've done your workouts. So if we see the one person hasn't done their workouts for, say, a couple of weeks, guess what happens? We message you, we'll give you a call, we email you, we'll try and get you back on track. Now, in a very friendly way, okay? We basically make sure that you stay on track, because when you're on your own, it's so easy just to kind of forget about things, just say, oh, look, I'll do it tomorrow. And you know that I'm right. You know, you probably have done it before. So with us looking over your shoulder, it changes the game completely. You actually get stuff done, and therefore you get results. So that's why accountability is absolutely important. And I think it's one of the main reasons why people in the Growing Younger program, they consistently get results. So that's accountability. Now, as I said, support, you get lots of support. Okay, so if you ever have any questions, you can always reach out to us. We're always there to help you 7 days a week. So if you have any questions about injuries, pains, you get in touch with Alex, with me. If you have any questions about the exercise and nutrition, you get in touch with Gavin. So Gavin, I'll let you cover this.
Yeah, cool. So with the nutrition side of things, okay, and what I spoke about at the beginning and getting things right, what we've done is I designed an online nutrition course for you guys, okay, and we usually sell this on its own for quite a bit of money, but this is all included on today's presentation. It's a 6-module course, and it basically tells you exactly what you need, or exactly what nutrition is. It tells you what a protein and a carb and a fat is. People get confused. We talk about motivation. Motivation is so important. We talk about meal plans, how to build your own meal plans, how to track and manage and measure. And this becomes a basis of your nutrition. And ultimately, once you go through this course, the idea behind this is that you will never need another diet again. That's my ultimate goal. Because if you do this, it will work for you forever. It's not a keto diet, or it's not a crazy, green and red diet like a lot of people promote. It's actual, journey. It's a strategy. It will always work for you. And with the nutrition coaching that we offer as well with me, we talk about these videos, and we talk about strategy in them. So if he doesn't quite understand it, you can come and pick my brain, and we'll just get a lot more learning from it, and it's a lot easier to implement. So within this course, you get lots of documents and bonus videos as well. So there's meal planners in there, there's healthy snack guides in there, there's protein powder recipes in there, there's a whole bunch of other good stuff in there for you. It's a very, very useful tool, and it'll be absolutely essential for anybody that wants to get their health in shape, on track.
Cool. So look, guys, I'm just going to. I did promise that I was going to show you a couple of videos on about our current and past Growing Younger clients, their story, what they've been able to achieve. So I'm just going to play a couple of videos for you. So you can see for yourself that people in the program have, what they've actually been able to achieve thanks to their participation in it. So let's just see if we can make this work. Oops.
Yeah, so I'll tell you a little bit about the Growing Younger program. I joined beginning December, so it's just over a month now. I'm really enjoying it. It's actually something that everyone can do. I am 47 years old, so I decided that it's a good thing to do some exercise, especially because I also stopped smoking and I was picking up a lot of weight. So this has done really wonders for me. I'm really happy doing this, and I will still go a long way. I'm getting fitter and stronger every day, and it's really nice to work with Gavin and Alex because they help a lot. And when you've got questions, they're there right away to help you. The exercises are really great and easy. It's nothing difficult. Everybody can do them. And you'll obviously get fitter as you go. And what's really nice about it is it's flexi time. You can come anytime you like and do the exercises. So you really just work it into your daily plan. And you really feel the benefits, with a little bit of time as you're getting stronger and your programs get adjusted. And for people, my age, it's really beneficial to get moving and to not get stuck, and sit on the couch all the time, or just by your desk all the time. So yeah, I really look forward to my journey, and I think, I'll do much better in a few months' time. Bye.
All right, thank you, Lindy. So the question you might be asking yourself now is, will it work for you? So it has worked for a number of people: Penny, Terry, Carmen, Indy, Desley, and many, many others. There's absolutely no reason why it would not work for you. As long as you put some effort into the program, you'll be surprised. You'll be pleasantly surprised at what you can achieve in just a few months down the track. Now, look, there's no magic involved. You have to put some work in as well. Now, it's not hard. It's very important to emphasize nothing we give you is hard because we tailor it to your level of fitness. It's not exhausting. It's not sort of army boot camp type exercise where we stand over your shoulder and make you do 100 press-ups. So everything we give you is doable. It's not hard, not difficult. So it's customized. Everything is customized to your needs. Now, in terms of time commitment, you're probably looking anywhere between 30 to 40 minutes per workout. Now, everyone's situation is a bit different, but generally speaking, you probably need to work out 3, maybe 4 times a week. Okay, so that's your time commitment for the program. Okay, so look, it's doable. Most people, can fit this into their routine. Okay, especially now because a lot of people stay at home. Look, instead of watching television, you could just do a workout and improve your health for many years to come. Now, we covered what the program is. Now, it's also important to understand what the program is not. And look, it's not a traditional gym membership. So what we're talking about right now is our remote online version of the Growing Younger program, where we do everything over a video call. Everything is done over the internet. Now, it's not primarily a weight loss program. Okay, so it's not Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig. All right, so even though in fact, most people that join the Growing Younger program, they end up losing weight, but it's not because we're a weight loss program. It's because we get people healthier, and most people need to lose some weight to get healthier. Okay, so that there are no artificial shakes, drugs, or potions involved. Everything is natural. The food that you eat is your kind of natural, normal food. There's no yo-yo dieting, so we don't put you on a strict diet and tell you exactly what to eat. You can pretty much continue to enjoy the food that you like, but we just make a few adjustments along the way. It's not a gimmicky trend in fitness that will fade away in a couple of years. And very important, this is not hard, particularly when it comes to exercise. We'll try and do our best to give you the sort of exercise that you can actually enjoy and love. It's not physically exhausting. So I'll just really quickly go over how the program works. Okay, so first of all, when you join, we'll have a 45-minute consultation with me, with a physio. We, go over your injuries, your current health conditions, if you have any. We take everything into account. We kind of brainstorm a bit of a plan for you. The next thing we do is you'll see Gavin, the personal trainer and nutritional coach, and he will take into account the findings that from this first session with the physio. So he will have a pretty good idea what's happening, what your situation is, what your goals are. And he'll start putting together an exercise program that's tailored to you. He will also, now nutritional start is optional, and we'll cover this in a minute, but he will also start talking to you about things that you can change in your diet, in your nutrition, in your diet, in the food that you eat, to start making a change in your health. Okay. So he might actually he will ask you to keep note or keep a diary of what you're eating, which is actually quite easy to do. So we need to understand what your current habits are before we start tweaking and changing things along the way. So you get the mobile app, which it helps us to keep you accountable. The support is there 7 days a week. There's live tracking, so we keep an eye on your progress. So which we get you to measure your weight, measure your waist, just to keep an eye on how you're progressing. Everything is tracked and accounted for, and as long as you do the work that we ask you to do, you literally cannot fail. Look, this system has been around for 3.5 years. We've developed it, we've fine-tuned it over the years, and I could honestly say that every single person that joined the Growing Younger program, as long as they followed what we told them to do, everyone got results. So you literally cannot fail as long as you put some effort into the program. Okay, I'll just quickly play Sue's video as well. Sorry, I think we're having some issues with the video side of things.
Hi, I'm Sue. When I started this program, I was a biological age of 53. I'm actually 55. By the time I finished, I was down to 49. I was not overweight to begin with, and I didn't really consider losing weight as a big thing. I really just wanted to be biologically younger. So by the time I finished, my blood pressure had dropped, my heart rate had dropped. I was a lot fitter. Even though I'm pretty active, I was amazed as to how much fitter I was. I especially liked the program that Gavin put me on because my biceps started to get bigger, more muscly. I was losing the body fat. Even though in the past week I was pretty naughty with the sweets, so it didn't really come up very well in my last test, but that's fine. Being 49 instead of 55 is a great achievement, I think, so thanks.
Sorry, things are a little bit out of sync. Okay, so look, this is what I refer to as the awkward slide. So this is the investment that we ask for. Basically, what I'm covering now is the standard version of the program. So that's pretty much everything that I just described and covered so far. And the minimum term that we ask for is 6 months. And the reason why we say the minimum term is 6 months is because this is how long we find it takes to really get a substantial improvement, a substantial change in your health and fitness. Okay. So normally for this comprehensive level of the program, the weekly payments is $47 per week. Now we are running a lockdown special, so that's only during this time of when everyone's stuck at home. We are giving away the standard version of the program for $37 per week. Now, so this is New Zealand dollars. Now I know there's a couple of people from Singapore on this call, and so for you guys, last time I looked up the official rate, I think it's even cheaper. So you're probably looking at something like $32 per week. Okay, so $37, that's New Zealand dollars to be in the standard version of the program. All right. So, Given, do you want to cover the nutritional sides?
Yeah. So we've gone over this a lot anyway, but ultimately, you know, we get your nutrition coaching is a separate thing. So you get the nutrition blueprint and the coaching, and the coaching is so valuable because you're able to ask questions and bounce ideas off me, and we can do some really good problem solving with what you're doing. Because with anything, you know, sometimes, you know, I've had people sitting with me who are 150 kilos and are absolutely adamant they eat healthy. And in their mind, they do eat healthy, but obviously they're doing something wrong because they're 150 kilos. So that's the role of a coach. It just puts you back on track, keeps you on the right path, and keeps you focused. So there's no restriction, okay? I don't make you cut out tons and tons of food. You know, we get away from this bad food thing, good food thing. It's really unhealthy to look at food as good and bad. And we want to look at it as more of an energy. It's energy to fuel your body and your activities. That's what food is, right? So it means you can incorporate some traditional bad foods in your diet as long as it's within moderation, and as long as it doesn't overshadow the good stuff. You know, coaching has a proven track record. Every sports team has a coach. Every sportsman has a coach. Coaching works. There's no doubt about it, and that's what our role is. Again, we've talked about the online educational course, the Nutrition Blueprint, which you'll have access to, and which we will do a lot of our coaching around. And as I said, you learn it once, you do forever. It will always work for you, providing you do the work, you know. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes, and the longer your results will be. And as I said, we'll review this as we need to. Very, very good.
Cool. So just okay, yeah, you go, Gavin.
Okay, cool. And Terry's awesome, right? So Terry, a bit of a story with him. He was he's been suffering from high blood pressure nearly all of his life, all of his adult life anyway. And he literally was on the brink of pretty much a heart attack, and his doctor told him he needed to do some exercise. And lucky for him, we're kind of local, and we're the only people doing this kind of program. And he started training with us. So as a result, you know, he lost 13 kilos within his 5 to 6 month period. He's still with us now 3 years after. And you know, the weight training and the exercise and the weight loss has contributed to him now having the most normal blood pressure he's had his entire life. And he just speaks quite a little bit about our nutrition control system. I'll read it out to you. Gavin introduced me to a nutrition control system, something I'd never seen or considered before. It was not a diet as such, more a knowledge tool and self-administered food regime, which was fun and easy. Now, this was coming from a 65-year-old man who was, you know, really, really struggling. So this guy, anyone can do, okay? And that's my promise to you. All right.
The other thing you get as part of this package is you also get we run Zumba Gold classes twice a week, and so we also have an online version of the Zumba class. So basically, you can choose either Monday or Wednesday, and you can do this class online. So basically, you plug in, turn on your computer. We'll send you a link, and you just basically, it's a live session. So the instructor's there live demonstrating exactly what to do. There's music playing, and so you just follow along. It's really, again, it's tailored for people over 45, so it's not too difficult. It's not too hard. And there's lots of people here in New Zealand enjoying it. And you can also enjoy it wherever you are, doing the online remote version of the same thing. So you get one of these sessions as part of this package. So what we're covering now is the gold package, which includes nutrition and Zumba as well. Now, if you guys live, if you're on the call, if you live in the Howick area of Auckland, New Zealand, then that will, so you can choose either do it online or you can do it in person, offline in our physical location. So you can come and do the Zumba class once we restart the class after this whole coronavirus lockdown is finished. Okay, so you can either choose online or offline version. So basically, that's the gold level of the Growing Younger program. So that includes the nutritional part, and it also includes the Zumba Gold class once a week. So again, the minimum term that we ask for is 6 months. It's just because that's how long it takes to get good result. Normally, we charge $57 per week, and we have people in the program paying that much. And so at the moment, we're giving it away for only $47 per week. So you get everything we just mentioned. You get the personal training, the physio side, the nutritional package, and the Zumba Gold classes online or offline So it's $47 per week. Now, you might be thinking, you know, is this really for me? Is it going to work? Is it not going to work? So basically, what we're offering is a 30-day guarantee. So you also might be thinking, oh, 6 months is a long commitment. Now, we basically, because of this, we're offering you a 30-day guarantee in the unlikely event if you're not completely satisfied with the level of support you've been given. You can cancel the program and we'll give you a full refund of what you paid us so far. Okay, so that's after 30 days, you can cancel. If you don't, you know, if you don't like what we've given you, if you don't like the progress you're making, you can get a full refund and you can cancel the whole program at that stage. Okay, so just, it completely eliminates the risk of getting involved in case if you're sort of a bit worried about the commitment. Okay, I think we're having a little bit of an issue with the video today. I'm just going to quickly try play Esther's video. We're pretty much done. We're almost at the end of our presentation. Oops.
Well, I start.
Okay.
With growing in the gym is because, well, I'm in my early 50s, and mainly it's due to my health. I would say that cholesterol has just hit the ceiling, and I'm refusing to take any statin because I know there is horrible side effects to it. And this is a time that is a wake-up call for me that I needed to do something with my health. And well, I came across on Facebook with Growing Younger, and it's sort of like, no, it caught my eye is because knowing that I have a physiotherapist who's going to see me, check everything, my body and health-wise. And then I also have a personal trainer, and I'm like, wow, this is really amazing. Something new. Okay, why not just give it a go and meet these two guys? And it's been a real blessing meeting Alex first, and I love it when he did my body measurements, you know, getting my fat count, and just, well, can't believe that, you know, well, I'm on a little bit on a higher level with my fat, so there's fat to be lost. And he did my strength checking, and there were a few pointers like ankle, knee. I do have knee issues and something that I want to make it better. And when he pointed it out to me, and that's when I decided on the spot that, okay, I'm going to commit myself. And it was just 6 months, you know, to do this commitment. Then I had a one-on-one with Kevin. And again, I'm amazed that there is an app that I can work with. Well, I've been to so many gyms previously, and it's just so difficult to work out when you have everything on a piece of paper. On top of that, I had to pay extra to get a personal trainer, so it's money on top of that. And with having this app, Trainer Rise, everything is being keyed in for me to have a look when I come to the gym. I just need to open it up and see what days I do my cardio, what days I do my strength, and with the strength I have 9 types of exercises that I just look at it. Days that I do forget, being in my 50s, well, I just open it up and it shows me exactly how I need to do it. So I find that it's a perfect gym for me, basically, and I believe for everyone else at our age. And on top of that, the people that come here are within our age group where I feel more comfortable. I don't feel intimidating.
Okay, I think we'll just leave it at that. It goes on for a bit longer. Sorry about the sound. I know that we're having difficulties with video today. So look, we're just going to, you'll be pleasantly surprised because we're going to do something very special for you just today. And so today, during this presentation, we're offering you something, well, extremely special, because for today only, we are going to give away the gold level of the package, of the Growing Younger package, for the price of standard. So For the gold package, you'd normally pay $57 per week. Right now, if you take action today, you can have it for only $37 per week. So if you join now and you stay in the program for as long as you want, you know, obviously minimum of 6 months, you'll keep this discount forever. Okay, so everyone else is paying $57, you're only paying $37 per week for as long as you want. Okay, so and the other thing is we also will give you a copy of our book that I mentioned just previously in this presentation. So even if you're overseas, even if you're not in New Zealand, we'll send you a copy of our book absolutely free as part of this package. And now when you join today, you get the 10 days free. Okay, so when you join, you register, we're not going to charge you a card for 10 days. Okay, so you're not going to be charged for 10 days. So we'll get you started, we'll get you set up, everything, you'll be up and running, and only then we'll actually we'll charge the first payment. So look, it's a no-brainer. There's a guarantee. You can cancel, you can get a refund after 30 days. I think we've provided more than enough evidence that this stuff works. As long as you're ready to put some effort into the program. I mean, there's not magic involved. You have to do some work, but it's not hard. It's very time efficient, and we've got a proven track record. Okay, so many people have achieved results. I mean, look, it's pretty obvious. So so if you want to take action, as I said, this offer is only available today. You can go to this link on your screen down the bottom. It's growingyounger.clickfunnels.com/gold. Okay, I'm going to put this link in the chat box so that you guys can click on it. I think you should be able to click on it. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you'll have to copy and paste it into your browser. There's no clickable link for it.
Unless I do something else. No, okay, yeah, you have to copy and paste it into your browser, or you can just type it in if you like. Pretty much just copy it from your screen. So look, if there are any questions, you can either type it into your chat box right now, or alternatively, you can just email us at a later stage. Okay, so that's probably it for now. I'm just going to keep that screen open just for another minute. All right, guys. So thank you for your time today, and we're just going to close down. So if you have any questions, like I said, just email us. You can just reply to the email that we send you with the webinar reminder. And yeah, if you have any questions, just let us know. But for now, all the best, and I might speak to you in the future.